dealing with April 2022. April 2022. And the question reads, we are beginning with question 2 because we had done question 1. That Jabbo Limited manufactures bracelets for export trade. The sales revenue is dependent on the level of advertising expenditure per month. So we have the advertising and the sales. Okay, let me know whether that question was solved in class. I'm not the one who taught you forecasting. Was it solved? If it was solved, Adika, yes. If it was not, Adika, no. Okay, so it was not solved. So you are told to estimate fixed and variable elements of sales revenue using the least regression analysis. So when you're told to use the least regression analysis, you're told to use the least regression analysis method. Regression analysis method. Regression analysis method. The format of the equation is y is equals to a plus bx, where b is given as n sum of xy minus sum of x sum of y. You divide by n sum of x squared minus sum of x. Now, in this case, x is the independent variable. That would be the advertising expenditure. Advertising expenditure. And y is the what? The sales revenue. The sales revenue. The sales revenue. So we are supposed to draw a table so that we compute these values. But this examiner seems to have given us the values. So we are going to just substitute. N is how many they are. You can see there are 6 of them. So N is 6. Sum of XY, advertising expenditure multiplied by sales revenue. We are given it is 447,250,00. You minus, sorry. Yeah, you minus sum of x. We already have said that our x is the advertising expenditure. So sum of the advertising expenditure is 13,500. You multiply this by sum of y. Sum of the revenue, it is 192,000. 192,000. So this one will divide the whole of this, will divide by what? by n, which is 6, multiplied by sum of x squared. Revenue, expenditure squared, because expenditure is our x. It is that 2,125,000 minus sum of x. So sum of x is this 13,500 multiplied by 13,500. So please solve and give me the answer. Solve and give me the answer. Okay, I can see the answer. I can see the answer is 8.7. Now this 8.7, it is what the examiner is asking us to compute. Estimate the fixed and variable elements of the sales revenue. So this one now is the variable revenue. The variable revenue per shilling or advertisement expenditure. Advertising expenditure. Yeah, that is the variable component. Then the other value that we need to compute is called A. Now A is given as sum of Y minus B, sum of X, you divide by N. So this one will be our Y. Y we know it is 19,200 total minus B, 8.7. You multiply by what? Sum of X, which is 13,500. You divide all this by 6. Divide all that by 6. So work that and give me the answer. $12,425. Is it real? Negative or positive? 12,425. 12,425. I'm expecting it to be negative. Is it positive? Oh, this was 192,000. Oh, okay. Yeah. Is so the sum of I have seen nilikuwa naona kama 19, so I could see 19. 8 times 13 is obviously more than 19. So that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Thank you. So if that is the case, now this is their fixed sales revenue. This is the fixed sales revenue. It is the revenue that does not depend on the advertising expenditure. The revenue that does not depend on the advertising expenditure. Okay. So that's all that the candidate was supposed to do to earn those. When there is a part that is missing, because you're sorry, iko na 6 marks, or there is part 2 of the question. Masijui iko namna gani. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next one is part B. Did you compute those stock levels? Oh, so that is computed. So if that is computed, we skip it. If that is computed, we skip. So we look for the next question. Question 3B. That one on discounts, was it? I think it was also done in class. Is that so? Now that the answers for the other one were yes, eh? Can you write done if not, if it was done, or no if it was not done? Now I'm referring to question 3B. The following information is provided in relation to Baridi Co Limited. Okay, it was given as an assignment. You should have done the assignment. The others, was it done in class? Sinta is saying it was given as an assignment. The others, if it was an assignment, do we do it? Okay, so Jacinta is saying we do it. Okay. Yes, even better. So let's do it. So I was saying that the following information is provided in relation to Baridi Co Limited. The annual demand of its product branded D is 30,000. The ordering cost per order is 2,500. The holding cost is expressed as a percentage of the purchase price at 20%. The following price ranges are given with the respective quantities. Now, advice on the quantity to purchase. Now, that question is on what we call multiple discounts, presence of multiple discounts. And I told you, or you are told, I remember the first lesson I came in, we discussed multiple discounts. So in the case of multiple discounts, we normally prepare a table like this. And in this analysis table, in the analysis table here, we have what we call the price break. We have what we call the price break, or the level of purchase, the price break. Then we have the price. Then we have what we call EOQ. So the EOQ, you know, it is given as 2RS. You divide by CI, you get the square root, and this gives us the EOQ, the computed EOQ. And then after that, we have a space where we come and make comments. We have a space kidogo where we come and make comments. So that is how you design the first table. Design the first table that way. The price break, the price. So the price break is the first level of purchase, which we are told in the first case is 1 unit to 3,000. And at this point, the price is 21. So you will say this is 2 times the annual demand. The annual demand is 30,000. The examiner is using letter D. Me, I'm using letter R. And I hope my writings are visible. Today I moved the camera a little bit behind. Are the writings visible? Well, okay, it's good. I moved kidogo to create a bigger space. So the ordering cost is 2,500. 2,500. And then C is 21. And the percentage is 20%. So 0.2. Sasa nataka compute and you tell me the answer so that nifunge hiyo price break. Yes, I can see 59.77. We always round up the 59.77. But even if you wrote 76, there will be no harm. But matters of EOQ, we always round up. Okay. So from there now, this one, you can see it is above the break. So we normally say above the break. And if it is above the break, you ignore. So that one, there is nothing much we shall do about it. Because the EOQ that we are supposed to buy, it is already beyond the maximum limit that has been offered. From there, the next break is 301 to 5,000. 3,001 to 5,000. So here, the price is 19. So we are going to have 2 times 30,000 times 2,500. You divide by 19 times 0.2. Yeah, good. I can see 62.83. So 62.83, it is also above, and therefore we ignore it. It is above, and therefore we ignore it. Right. Let us go to the next. The next break is 5,001 to 7,000. So the price there is given as 17. So we will have the figures here under the square root of 2 times 30,000 times 2,500 being divided by 17 times 0.2. So work that figure out. Oh, I can see already Sirao has it, 66, even Jemima, 66.43. So even in 66.43, you can see now that one is within the break. So if it is within the break, you evaluate or you use Q being equal to 66.43. We normally say you use the computed if it is within. If it is within the break, we're tunatumia what we have gotten. So we shall use Q as 66.43. The next break is 7,000 to 9,000. 7,001 to 9,000. And the price is 15.5. 15.5. Therefore, these shall come here under the square root of 2 times 30,000 times 2,500. I divide by 15.5 times 0.2. Times 0.2. So give me the answer there. Yeah, I can see 69.57. Now, that one is below the break. If it is found to be below the break, we use Q as the lower limit. We use Q as the lower limit of the break. So our Q will be 7,001 units. Our Q will be 7,001 units. Then hiyo tunafunga hapa. Then we proceed to the next. The next is 9,000 to 10,000. 9,001 to 10,000. The price given there is 13. So this, once again, we do the square root of 2 times 30,000 times 2,500. You divide this by 13 times 0.2. And 0.2. So you give me the answer there. Oh, 75.96. 75.96. Once again, you can see it is below. So if it is below your range, you use Q as the lower limit. 9,001. 9,001. So that is all that we had for those breaks, the 5 of them. So if that is what we had, the first 2 we are ignoring them. So the first 2 we are ignoring them. So we can come here now and we can even do it in a tabular format. We can draw a table there where we will have the price. And then we will have the units purchased. And then we now compute the cost. Remember, cost is given as R times C plus R out of Q times S plus Q out of 2 times CI. That gives you total cost. That gives us total cost. That gives us total cost. So we start with the first one. This one, idiot tumesema we are using. So at a price of 17, our Q is 66.43. So our total cost will be the annual demand, which is 30,000. You multiply by the price, which is 17. Then you say plus 30,000, which is divided by Q. Q is 6643. You multiply by S. S is 2,500 plus our Q, 6,643. You divide by 2, multiplied by our C, which is 17, multiplied by I, which is 0.2. Oh, I already have the answer. 532583. 532583. Huh? 53,258. Ona kama hiyo ni kidogo sana. Kama iko sawa. 5 at 2,000. 583.2. That's according to Jemima. That's the answer that I have. confirmed so that I move. Yeah, confirmed by Vera. So we move. We go to the next price, which is 15.5. At that point, our Q is 7,001. So if it's 7,001, this will be 30,000 multiplied by 15.5 plus 30,000. You divide by 7,001 multiplied by 2,500. Then this is 7,001. You divide by 2 multiplied by 15.5 times 0.2. Yeah, even Sirao confirms that value. So let's now get to the third one. Now the next one, that is. Or 86,563. 486,563.9. Yeah, Vera is getting 64.3. So a slight difference of a decimal, so that is confirmed. So you can take yours, the difference is kidogo because of how you have used the decimals. The next one is at 13, where we have recommended a purchase of 9,100. So this will be 30,000 multiplied by 13 plus 30,000. You divide by 9,001 multiplied by 2,500 plus 9,001. You divide by 2 multiplied by 13 multiplied by 0.2. Okay. 410,033.71. 410,033.71. Someone else to confirm. Yeah, agreed. Now confirms. So if it is confirmed, what you need to do is now to offer the advice. The advice, you pick the one with the lowest cost. So this happens to be this one. So the examiner or whoever had asked you, they had told you to advise on the quantity to buy. So optimal order quantity is 9,001 units at a purchase price of shillings 13. So that is what we will advise them to do. They buy 9,001 units at a time. They buy 9,000 units at a time. Okay, let's proceed on to part C. It is on activity based. Did we do it? I can't remember whether we solved that or we solved or that was done. Good. Let's go to question 4B. It looks like we also solved it. Is that so? Yeah, 4B, it is done in class. Okay, so, and when we say it is done in class, that does not mean it's not important. Make sure you get time and look at what we did. Make sure you get time and look at what we did. So question 5, I don't think we did that. So we can solve 5A. Nasema, Smart Products Limited operated standard costing and budgetary control system. The following is the company's standard cost card. We have direct materials, direct labor, variable overheads, fixed overheads, standard cost per unit, standard profit per unit, standard selling price per unit. Additional information is that each unit requires 3 kilos of material, which costs 40 per kg and 45 minutes of direct labor at 80 per hour. Variable overheads are recovered on direct labor hour basis. Fixed overhead absorbed on annual production budget of 180,000. For the year to that 1st of March, 120,000 have been manufactured and sold. Contrary to the management's expectation, the company's profit and loss statement reflected a loss of 13 or 1,380,000 instead of the expected profit of 3.6 as provided below. Now, get the budgeted profit and loss account for the year and the flexible budget for the production achieved. Okay, for the production that was achieved. Now, in that case, we are supposed to prepare someone known as budgetary control statement. Budgetary control statement. In the budgetary control statement, we have a column called details here. We have another column called original. Some people call it fixed budget. Fixed budget. I don't know whether we shall require the workings, how much to multiply, because we are given per unit there. Because we are given the figure per unit, we will just go multiplying. Let's not create workings there, because all of them will just be multiplied by one item. So we can save ourselves that energy and time. Then we have the actual results. The actual results. So the actual results are also provided, so we don't need a working for them. So where we may require a working is in this one. Which is known as a flexible budget. Flexible budget. Flexible budget. So that is the format of a budgetary control statement. Some people would wish to put the what? Would wish to put the variances, commission, but now that this one they have no task, and those variances are rarely used. We use the ones that you have been computing, the ones in the formula. But if you do advanced management accounting, you will see how we go about it. So when you come to advanced level, you can choose advanced management accounting. I will still be energetic to teach you. Haya, sasa, the first thing that we do is to get the units. According to information 3, the fixed overhead are absorbed on an annual production budget of 180,000. So the units are 180,000. That way, 180,000. And then the actual results was 120,000. So this one, you put it 120,000. And the units of the actual are also the units of the flexible. The units of the actual are also the units of the flexible. The flexible budget that we did last time had equations. So they are another format of doing it. The second thing that we bring here is called percentage. And in the percentage, the original budget is assigned 100%. The original budget is assigned 100%. So what you need to do now is to tell me if 180,000 is 100%, 120,000 is what percent? Give me that. If 180,000 is 100%, what percent is 120,000? (66.67%). 66.67%. Or we could have made it 67%. Still okay. So the same percentage applies here. 66.67%. So with that now, we bring the revenue. Now the revenue in this case, tunaenda na hiyo ya standard. So chukua hiyo selling price of 250. 250 times 180,000. Ndio niambie revenue yake ni ngapi? $250 times 45 million. Then the revenue for the actual, it is given there. 22,800,000. 22,800,000. So for you to get the flexible, anything in the original budget that is variable, you multiply by this percent. So I think for the interest of my space and now that you're in class, I think I'll not put those writings. So give me 66.67 of 45 million. (66.67% of 45 million. $30,001,000. 30,001,500. You not even have put a bigger space for the working. Okay, well and good. Higher. Then you say less variable costs. Variable cost. So the first variable cost is direct materials. Direct materials. So what you do, unachukua hiyo 120. If you look at the standard card, it has 120. So 120 multiplied by 180,000. $21,600. Before you move out of that, because this is variable, give me 66.67% of that. Give me 66.67% of this value. Just tuandike huko kwa flexible before you clear it from the calc. 14,400,720. 14,400,720. Now for the actual, unaenda hapa kwa budget, unapata they spent 12 million. So unaandika hiyo, not kwa budget, for the actual results, it was 12 million. Haya, tuende kwa direct labor. Direct labor, we argue the same way. Direct labor utachukua 60 multiplied by 180,000. $10,800,000. Ukienda kwa the actual, it is 3,900,000. This is still variable, so give me 66.67% of this. 7,200,360. The next item is overheads, which are variable. So the overheads, it is 20. So 20 multiplied by 180,000. $3.6 million. Unaenda kwa the actual results. Unapata ni 2,880,000. So give me 66%. Yeah. 2.4 million. 2,400,120. Haya, sasa kutoka hapo, you now bring fixed costs. So the fixed costs, we already have overheads. You only have overheads. And we are told it is that bob. So now that bob multiplied by the 180,000. $5.4 million. Ukienda kwa the actual results, it turned out to be also 5.4. Now the fixed overhead do not change. So those ones, you don't multiply by the percentage. You just take it as it is in the original budget. You just take it to the flexible as it is in the original budget. So this one, we bring something like this. That way. So with that, we are done. So what we need to do is now to compute the net profit. Net profit. So tell me, according to the original budget, the net profit should be how much? So I can see you are telling me 3.6 million. This other one is just like it is given, but you can confirm as it is given. Is a negative 1,380,000. And then for the flexible, tell me the flexible. So you are getting 600, 300. So that means if they had done well, as per the original budget, even when the units changed from 180 to 120, they were supposed to have reported a profit of 600,000. But now you see qua ground, they actually reported a loss. So that calls for an investigation to know what should be done. Again, that now, those are things we do at advanced management level, advanced management accounting. You now get to chunguza. Why did we report this? Who was responsible? There's something we call responsibility accounting. And whoever is found responsible is called upon to take responsibility. Good. Part B. Part B, did we solve in class? Looks like we solved in class, but you can remind me. Anyone can remember whether we solved? When you are in decision making. No one can remember. Okay, Vera says no. So if it was not solved, we can solve it. So inasoma hivi, Wasafiri Limited produces 10,000 units per annum by employing 50% of the total factory capacity. The selling price per unit is 500 and the total cost are as follows. Materials, wages, fixed overheads. I guess the first one should be variable overheads. The second one should be fixed overheads. You should not have two fixed overheads. So you can rekebisha hapo. The first one should be variable overheads. The second one now is fixed overheads. Now, variable overheads maintains a constant ratio to the number of units produced. So that tells you that they are absorbed on the basis of units. The production manager is evaluating acceptance of a special offer of additional 10,000 units at a selling price of 387.5. Uh-huh. 387.5. Okay, then the increased volume of purchases will reduce the material by that. The wage rates will remain constant, but due to employment of new workers, there will be a drop in labor efficiency by 5% on all production. Now prepare a statement showing the variation of net profits resulting from acceptance of the order and advise the management on what they should do. I can see it's like my screen is shaking kidogo. Are you seeing that effect? Are you seeing that effect of shaking? From your end? Oh, okay. So reader says no. So if you're not seeing it, let me not adjust right. Okay, so in this question, in dealing with this question, we are going to do the question is on special pricing decision. So special pricing decision for extra 10,000 units. For extra 10,000 units. So here we have details. We have details. When we have details, we have reject the offer, reject offer, reject the offer, then we accept the offer. Those are the two options that are available to us. So if maybe I start like we started with the we are told capacity here. Capacity, when you reject the order, you remain at 50%. And the units, they are 10,000. They are 10,000. But when you accept the offer, the units will be the current 10. The current 10, because the question says additional 10,000. So we add 10,000. And therefore, this gives you 20,000. That means if 50% was 10, when you do the whatever, you will be operating at 100%. You will be operating at 100%. It's good to understand those basics. Good to understand those basics. So, with that understanding, let's get the revenue. The revenue, it will be 500,000, no, 500 shillings, 500 times this, 10,000. So how many millions are those? Manikionyesha is a working. I'm saying 500 times 10,000. 5 million. So the revenue is 5 million. When you go to the other side, the revenue will be this 500 times 10,000 plus the additional units. They are coming in at a selling price of 387.5. 387.5 times 10,000. So tell me, hizo nazo zitatuletea revenue ya pesa ngapi? $8,875,000. That's the revenue. Then you say less. We can start with the variable costs. So the variable costs, we have materials. We have materials. So materials, in the first case, you just put it as it is given, 1 million. That one does not have workings. It's 1 million. But on this other side, we are told the increased volume of purchases will reduce the material price by 2.5. So we will say that our material will be 1 million. Will be 1 million times 2. So that it takes care of the next 10,000. But we are going to get a discount of 2.5%. So times 1 minus 0.025. So we will recognize that discount. We are saying it is 1 million times 2, because this 1 million was for 10,000. Now here we have 20,000 units. So you multiply by 2. But the cost is coming down by 2.5%. Yeah, and it's not just 2.5% for the next 10. It is for everyone. Is that okay, Jacinta? Okay, good. So the answer that have been given is 1950. Let's do the same with the wages. So for the wages, again, you just copy as it is given, 2 million. If you reject the offer, it remains 2 million. But if you accept, it is going to be 2 million times 2. 2 million times 2 for 10,000, for 20,000 units. And the question says in information 4, the wage rates will remain constant, but due to employment of new workers, there will be a drop in labor efficiency by 5% or no production. So what that means is that these guys will produce less by 5%. So you are supposed to increase it. The labor cost is going to go up. The labor cost is going to go up. So you multiply by 1.05. Or let me put it this way, 1 plus 0.05. When people become less efficient, labor cost goes up. $4.2 million. Then we have the overheads. So I've said the first overhead there is the variable one, which you are given as 1 million. And this 1 million, you multiply by 2, so that it is for 20,000 units. And according to information 1, the variable overheads maintains a constant ratio to the number of units produced. So this one will change in a direct proportion. So no further working. We just multiply here and we get 2 million. That's the meaning of that statement. All right. Let's now get, you can choose to get the contribution there, or you just go on and now tell us these are the fixed costs. So the fixed costs, we have overheads. We have overheads, which we are told is 400,000. 400,000. Now, as I told you earlier, fixed costs do not change. Not unless the question is very categorical that this fixed cost change to this amount. So you take it as the way it is. That's why we say fixed cost is irrelevant in decision making. Hiyo swali tungesimamia hapa tafuta contribution would have made the same conclusion because it is common in both. So with that, we are now set to get the net profit. So tell me for the first one. $4.2 million. Or is a different figure? It can't be 4.2 million. we are saying this revenue, 5 million, less this. So this is actually 600,000. So now, if you are giving me this, but unless you're telling me it's that other one, which I also don't think it can be 4. Oh, okay. Yeah, I see the 4.2 was wages. Good. So nasema the profit here, 600,000. Give me now the profit when we accept the offer. Need 25,000. Good. So what do you advise them? You tell them to reject the offer or to accept the offer? Yeah, they should reject the offer. They should reject the offer because you can see when they reject, they are making more profits. Yeah, and this is one of the dilemmas that most business people are never able to understand or to navigate through. Because we think the more customers you have, the more the profits. But you can see it's not always true. You are very busy, 20,000, but very little return. Another fellow is just working 10,000, getting almost double of what you are getting. I think that's what they call working smart. Okay. That is a model that we are trying to implement at Destiny. Trying to see the classes that do not have huge numbers. You do away with them, you retain a few. Retain a few and possibly make more. And being very busy with very many kidogo, and you end up with the diseconomies of scale. Good. So that paper is done. We still have some more time. Let's cross to December 2021 pilot. Question 1C, was it done in class? If it was done, I think I done so that we move to the next. So not done. So let's solve that. Let's solve it. Inasema Sanitize Company Limited manufactures a product from raw materials which are purchased at 54 per kg. The company incurs a handling cost of 350 and transport cost of 400 per order. The carrying cost is 0.5 per kg per month. The investment cost in the raw material is 8. The annual production is 94,500 units. And each kilogram of raw materials produces 2 units of final product. Calculate the economic order quantity. So the economic order quantity, the economic order quantity Roman 1, you begin by writing the formula. EOQ is 2RS out of CR. And remember this one, you can also write it, you can also write it 2RS out of H. The holding cost. Holding cost is the other word for carrying costs. So if that is true, then we start identifying. This question requires us to identify some items to classify. So we know that R is the annual demand. Sasa tunaambiwa this company, the annual production of the product is 94,500. And each kilo of raw material produces 2 units of final product. Now remember, the 94 is the production. What we are buying is the raw material. Na tunaambiwa each kilo of raw materials produces 2 units of the final product. So our annual demand then will be 94,500. You divide by 2. Most of the candidates would have used this as R. You make the examiner to enjoy making his money. Because that's a hapo, everything else will be wrong. Give me the answer that way. 47,250. 47,250 kilograms. Those are the raw materials that will be purchased. Let us now look for S. S is the cost of ordering. And the cost of ordering, it is mentioned there that materials are purchased at 54. The company incurs handling cost of 350 and transport of 400. The carrying cost is, the investment is 8. Now, handling costs is supposed to be part of holding costs. It's part of holding costs. But the transport is ordering cost. It's part of ordering cost. So this will be 400. However, there is a criteria that we use. If you look at the definition of handling costs, or rather of ordering costs, we normally say it is the fixed or the incremental costs per order. It does not depend on units. And carrying cost or the holding cost, it is a variable component. It's a variable component. So this handling cost, now that it is not depending on the units, you see it's not written per unit, like the carrying cost, the way it is written. We are going to take that is part of ordering cost because it is a fixed cost. So the 350 should be put here. And therefore, we are going to have 750 shillings as part of our ordering cost, the increment of our order. Our holding cost, H, we are already told it is 0.5 per kg. And then there is the investment. Investment It is the other word for the cost of capital. Remember, cost of capital, it has to do with the benefits you lose for holding money in stock or holding money elsewhere. So the investment cost is 8 shillings. That is part of holding. And again, you can see what I've said. It is expressed per kg. So plus 8, that gives us 8.5. 8.5. So with that, we are good to go. We are good to go. So if we are good to go, then I come here and say my EOQ will be 2 times 47,250 times X, which is 750. You divide by H, which is 8.5. You get the square root of that. Two thousand 888 units. So that is it out. Can it be confirmed? Good. There are confirms. So the frequency of orders. So number 2, annual orders. Annual number of orders, N. Annual number of orders is R out of Q. That's how we get annual number of orders. So this will be 47,250. You divide by Q. So that will tell us $16.36. So this 16.36, we normally call it 17 times or 17 orders. So we are going to do 17 orders. So when they ask for the frequency, the question has not given us the period. So the frequency is given as the period. You divide by orders. You divide by orders. We are not told whether it is in terms of days or weeks. So do you want us to use days or weeks? The examiner has not come out clearly. What do you want? So if it is days, then you take 365. You divide by 17. assuming that is the maximum number of days. But kama examiner angekuwa amekwambia any other number of days or weeks or months, you use that. So divide that. So that would be 22. 22 days. So that is make an order. Make an order every 22 days. Or after every 22 days. So every 22 days, order inawekwa. Every 22 days, hivyo. That's the frequency. Higher. If the procurement manager proposes to order on quarterly basis, what discount should be negotiated if the company is not willing to incur extra costs? So that is introducing what we call the SIGO discount. The SIGO discount. If it is introducing the SIGO discount, let me secure our queue here so that I wrap up there. I'm saying now that tunaulizwa the discounts, I'm saying this is a case of what we call SIGO discount. SIGO discount. And with the SIGO discount, first of all, we remind ourselves of the formula. That total cost is given as R times C plus R out of Q times S plus Q out of 2 times H or CI. You can either use H or you use CI, whichever you prefer works. Now, without discount, our C is 54. Our C is 54. And our Q is this one. That we had something like that. That was our Q. So therefore, our total costs will be 47,250 multiplied by 54 plus 47,250. You divide by that. Multiply by S, which is 750. Plus 2888, you divide by 2. Multiply by H, which is 8.5. Which is 8.5. can see 2,576,000. 2,576,000 044.602. That is the costs. Now with discount, with discount, C will be equal to 54 minus discount. Minus discount. Now I'm saying this discount, D is the discount. Let me specify. D is representing discount. And then he's proposing to order quarterly. So if he's going to order quarterly, our Q will be this 47,250. You divide by 4. So you will order 4 times. That's the meaning. So you divide the ujue every time atakuwa anatumana how many units. $11,813. $11,813. Those are the units itakuwa natumana. So then this manager says he does not want to incur an extra cost. So it means that he wants to retain these costs. So we are going to say 2,576,000 044.602 should be equal to 47,250 multiplied by 54 minus D. 54 minus D plus 47,250. You now divide by 11,183 or 813 times the ordering cost, which is 750, plus we wingine 11,813 out of 2 times 8.5 times 8.5. So nataka utoange hiyo uniambie D will be what? Solve that and tell me D will be what?
comes away.
Okay, according to Vera, it is 0.989. Someone else to confirm. Someone else to confirm? Sirao naye anasema 0.6. So let me get a third opinion. Okay, Kerubo naye ni 0.6. So that appears popular, has been proposed twice. So if that is the case, then I will go by someone else to give us that. 0.6 or 0.7. Or you may differ kidogo depending on how you are dealing with your decimals. You may differ kidogo. So even this one of Vera could be Jacinta. So Vera, maybe you need to check yours. Yeah, so we go by this one. So this is now in shillings. That is shillings. If you want to express it as a percentage, discount will be 0.06 out of 54 times 100. If you want to express it as a percent, you want to express it as a percent, what percent is that? So 1.12%. Yeah. So yes, good. So I can see our time is already passed by 3 minutes. So I don't want to exceed there so that I don't inconvenience anyone. We agreed that now we meet on Wednesday. We agreed that we meet on Wednesday morning. Please, if you realize I'm forgetting, I don't know how you shall remind me. Someone can send a message to the class group Tuesday evening, or someone can send me a message so that I don't forget. So Wednesday, we start what time? 6 or 5? Okay, Vera says 5. Okay. So that by 7 we are done. So that by 7 we are done. When you're anaenda job, and okay. So Wednesday again at 5. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy your Sunday and make sure you go to church.